As y'all know, I like to start off episodes with a fun fact, a stat, a quote, something on the lines. This is not so much a fun stat. It's a very interesting stat. And hopefully this gets fixed. As we know, All-Star Game is around the corner for the WNBA, which we will be talking about in this episode. But an alarming stat came out. WNBA players, this All-Star will make $2,575. The All-Star Game MVP will get $5,150 on top of that. The real moneymaker is the three-point contest with 60K, and the skill contest winner will get 55K because they are sponsored by none other than Affleck. Showtime. So, before we get into it, fellas, how are y'all doing?
I'm good. It's good to be back. Good to be out of that random closet I was in last week.
Yeah, I'm doing good, man. Glad to be back.
Before we get into today's episode, we need y'all to handle some business. Like, share, subscribe. We are on YouTube and wherever you listen to it on your streaming platforms, make sure that you like, share, subscribe, rate us 5 stars. We appreciate all the support, all the love that you have given us. For those that follow us on Threads, for those that are part of the NBA Threads community, the corner 3 was in, some of the importance of NBA Threads. We were all over and we didn't even have an episode. And we were already in conversation because of my take on the Lakers' upcoming season and my views on what they have done this offseason. We're going to start off there because y'all wanted to know, y'all wanted to hear. You already knew it was going to be a State of the Union type of episode. Was Tones, meaning me, was my viewpoint, my outlook on the Lakers' upcoming season too morbid?
Jarrett, I'm gonna let you go first because I need as much time as possible.
So I'll be quick. No, I don't know. I think the Lakers they're making some moves, but I think we need to see how the rest of the offseason goes because we're still at the beginning. Um, a lot of people are not high on DeAndre Ayton. I'm actually a fan of his, so I think he'll be all right playing with Luca and LeBron, two lob threats, being able to kind of redeem himself. He said he's looking forward to this new challenge because he likes the adversity and like the people talking about him. So I'm eager to see how he performs. But go ahead, Rush.
Before Rush goes, that's where already I have a problem with that Joker 8. Come in and just work. We've already heard you talk. We heard the dominating. I don't want to hear DeAndre Ayton talking. I don't want to hear the rah-rah and, I like when people doubt me. They have a reason to doubt you, bro. I would have rather him came in and said, I didn't play well last year. You know what? I feel rejuvenated. I'm playing with Luca. I'm playing with LeBron. I will make sure I improve. I'm going to do work. He didn't do that. So it's already off to a bad start in my book. But, maybe I'm too morbid.
Are you done? That's all. I just want to know if you're done.
I'm done.
Because for anyone who didn't see Tone when he made these comments, he was on Show About Sports by our guy Griffith Proc. So if you haven't subscribed, make sure you go do that anywhere you get your audio podcast. He's also on YouTube now. So Tone was a little out of his element. You know what I'm saying? He's used to running the show, doing intros, getting trivia ready, playing music, cutting the episodes up, doing social media. So he was feeling a little free. And he was just talking a little too negatively about supposedly our Lakers for my liking. Because when he's here on the corner 3, it's all even keel. It's like, oh no, it's gonna be all right. The Lakers might be okay. But then he get with Lindsay and Griff, and I think what it is Griff knows how to, manipulate people into talking into the mess. He knows how to reel people in. So I don't fully blame you. But no, in all seriousness, I mean, honestly, the Lakers are a big question mark, right? As Laker fans, we always get painted as delusional and whatever, and we always, every player that we sign is going to be the next best thing since sliced bread. But I do think that, one, a lot of people are forgetting, despite however you feel about the coaching job that JJ Redick did, how close the majority of those games were that the Lakers played against the Timberwolves, specifically Game 5, where Rudy Gobert went Will Chamberlain on the Lakers. So you don't need DeAndre Ayton to be what everybody had hoped he would be as the number one pick when Phoenix took him. You just need him to be what he's been, a walking double-double every single year that he's played in the league, average-wise, and to be a little bit more engaged and to make sure his motor doesn't throttle, make sure he's high octane every night and gives max effort every night. And he has all the I think that's not something we would have to worry about, because bro got bought out. No matter whether he went to Portland or whether Portland approached him, like, he got bought out of a max deal, and he signed for $8 million a year with a player option. So if you can't make it work with Luka and Bron, you might have to get ready to learn Chinese. You know what I'm saying? So I think he hopefully understands the gravity of the moment and the gravity of this situation. And I went back and started looking at some of DeAndre Ayton's film, some of the film when he's more engaged defensively, and then also specifically him in the pick and roll. And I think, to echo Zach Lowe, who was pretty high on the move because it's relatively low risk, I think he can do a little bit of everything. He can be a lob threat. Luka can make him a lob threat. Short roll, I think he can be effective there. And he's also really good from like the 13 to 15, 17 foot range if he's shooting the ball. So you don't need him to be all world. You just need him to be, like I said, what he's been, with just maximum effort all the time. Can you do that? I don't know. I feel like you shouldn't have to beg professionals to play hard. Unfortunately, that's just the reality sometimes. But I think the Lakers will be all right. Like, every summer, people predict the demise of the Lakers. Like last year, they hired a podcaster, so they're going to be trash. 3rd seed. Granted, the seedings were close. Still a 3rd seed. Did not fare that well in the first round as a higher seed, but I think JJ will take another step as a coach. I think a training camp, with Luka, hopefully LeBron, Ayton, and everybody else will do well. And I think that they'll be right there in the mix. Can they compete? I mean, I don't know. I don't know that anyone would have thought Indiana would be in the finals. I don't know that anybody would have thought after the regular season that Cleveland had that they'd get sent home in the second round, with respect to the injuries they had. So, everything we can predict, we can prognosticate based on what rosters look like and how young teams are and what we think will and won't work as fit. But to be honest, nobody really knows. So I think, who's to say, I hope it doesn't happen, but who's to say OKC isn't in a similar situation as Boston, when Tatum went down with an injury. Like, injuries are a part of the game. So I think a lot of people are writing the Lakers off way too early. I think it's way too early to write off the majority of teams in the league, with a couple of exceptions. But honestly, this is me just giving you a hard time because the assessment was fair, with the exception of the LeBron piece, because even if he took less, right, they're still over the salary cap. They were under the first apron, but they're still over the salary cap. So even if Bron said, I'm going to opt out, I'm going to take a minimum deal, the Lakers would have had like $9 million extra in addition to the 2 exceptions that they had to go out and get a player. Or if Bron left, they still would have had like $9 million. And you're not replacing LeBron with $9 million. I don't know how much better of a player you're going to get than what you were able to get with Ayton and LaRavia. Excuse me, with $9 million. So, I think a lot of people are sort of looking at the LeBron thing slightly unfairly, not you specifically, but just in general, a lot of the general conversation. Because even if it doesn't matter how much less he took, the Lakers still wouldn't have had a lot of cap space. They wouldn't have had like $20 million more in cap space to spend. So man, I just got to make sure, when you stray from home, you don't forget how we're supposed to talk about the purple and gold. That's all I wanted to do. Just wanted to make sure.
Hey, I'd love to be proven wrong because they had me on the train last year, and I was like, oh yeah, we got Luka, we going to the chip. I'd rather be wrong. I'd rather be on the completely other end of the spectrum, and then next thing you know, they're in the championship, and we'll be doing a show, and I'll have a Lakers with another title T-shirt on. That would be nice, but.
And I just think believe it or not, a lot of what's getting lost in all this discourse is the fact that Luka Doncic is a Los Angeles Laker, right? Battled injuries all of last year. I don't know that was even 90% Luka, maybe probably 75, 80%, and he still averaged 28, 8 and 8, I believe. So a motivated Luka is still a top 3-5 player in the league, and having him for a full summer, full training camp with LeBron, with Aiden, with the rest of those guys, whoever, whether Rob makes some more deals or not. I think a lot of people are sort of just understanding the fact how great Luka is, and that Mavericks team that he, helped lead to the finals. So I'm excited. I'm genuinely optimistic. I'm always optimistic. And I'm also keeping receipts, not from you, Tone, but just from everybody. So, I'm not above being petty. So we'll see where everybody's at in 8-9 months.
Hey, Jarrett, I want you to chime in. We're going to do a quick game since DeAndre Ayton is a part of the LA Lakers now. Would you rather DeAndre Ayton? I'm going to name some other big men and you let me know. Would you rather have Ayton or said big man? Starting off with this one. Would you rather DeAndre Ayton or Jarrett Allen?
Jarrett Allen.
Oh, am I playing the game too? I don't know if he was you and Jarrett. Are we factoring in salary? Or are we just the two players? Is that what we're looking at? Just
the two players. Salary,
yeah. I'd probably take Jarrett Allen.
DeAndre Ayton or Clint Capella?
Ayton.
Nick Claxton?
Ayton.
I would say, I think Nick is a better shot blocker, or has proven to be, but I think Ayton would be a better rebounder. I feel like, and can obviously do a little bit more offensively. So I'm gonna go Ayton as well. But for the record, Jarrett said it first. I disagree with him. If people come for me on this one, I'm just following the lead.
Claxton tried to fight everybody last year, so I don't need my center trying to beat everybody up.
Yeah, and he like $180.
Yeah,
some way. He looked like me out there at 7 feet. So
DeAndre Ayton, Steven Adams.
Ayton.
I think I'll say Ayton.
DeAndre Ayton, Mark Williams.
Yikes. I'm gonna take Ayton.
Is it because Mark Williams had a backiotomy?
Oh, he had a what?
Back problems.
Oh, I didn't know. I just had to be sure. I didn't know where we were going. Ayton hasn't played. I don't think he's ever played a full season. And in this time, you don't really expect players to. The health would be my only concern. But I think Ayton's a little bit more polished offensively, especially like with his range. So I'm gonna go Ayton.
Derek Lively.
Definitely Ayton. I don't know. Lively is just like a new DeAndre Jordan to me.
I like Lively a lot. So in a vacuum, head to head, I'm gonna go with Aiden.
All right, two more. Mitchell Robinson.
Oh, it was Aiden. Jarrett, don't. I was about to say, don't think with your heart. Think with your head.
Yeah, Mr.
Last
Robinson's
one.
my guy, but sometimes I be feeling like, all right, maybe we can do without. you know, especially how we had iHeart the season before and how he was balling.
Yeah.
DeAndre Ayton or Onyeka Okongwu?
Ooh. I like Nkongwu.
I like
I
Congress.
pray I'm pronouncing it, if not correctly, relatively closely. But yeah, I'm gonna go with him. I like Nkongwu.
I'm loving Congress too.
All right, something else that was brought up in the show about sports episode was a thread that Rush said after some moves that happened for the Wizards this offseason, with the belief that they might, keyword might, be able to make the playoffs like next year. The Wizards were 18-64 last season. What about this offseason gives you the belief, Jarrett and Rush, because Jarrett did chime in the comments saying that there is a possibility. What gives you belief from what they've done in the offseason that they will be able to possibly make the playoffs next season?
I'll let Jarrett speak a little bit more specifically to the individual players, because I know he covers them, because he's there. But this is the gift and the curse of being somewhat popular on social media, because you can't just put thoughts out, just random thoughts that pass through your mind without people taking them and running with them. Right-handed God, I promise. I was just like, oh, the Wizards that makes, like, if we're talking, like we just got done, running pickup, or we're in the barbershop, like, oh, they've made some moves. They might mess around and make the playoffs. It was literally a passing thought that I just put out. I didn't expect that it would catch any attention. I definitely didn't expect for it to be misconstrued. There's a common denominator here with all our beef in the corner three. It happens to be GP, because I said the Wizards would make the playoffs. I said they might mess around and make the playoffs. Two totally different statements. But I like the McCollum move. Middleton is opted in because there's no way he was going to get his $34 million on the open market. And you get another year of Sarr. You get Bub, another year of Bub. Jordan Poole is gone. Not that he was a complete negative, but I think if you look at him and CJ, injuries and games missed notwithstanding, the production is relatively similar. And you've got CJ on the last year of his deal. You've got Kispert. You've just got a well-rounded mix, and I think a lot more savvy veterans who have sort of been to where the Wizards are trying to build toward or get to. You've got those guys on your roster now. Don't forget Marcus Smart is there, though he may not be the Marcus Smart we all think of when we think of Marcus Smart when he was in his prime. But I still think he's more than capable, and he's had an opportunity to get healthy as well. I know they just traded Olynyk, but I really like that deal for them as well, because Olynyk is a sneaky good veteran too. And it wasn't solely, but that thought wasn't produced solely because of what the Wizards had done, but also, I mean, just look at the East. Chicago is probably going to be 40 and 40, 42, 38, but like whatever. You would expect Indiana to take a step back. Boston probably isn't going to fall out of the playoff picture completely, but you expect them to drop to like middle of the pack. There's opportunity, I think, for a team to get into the play-in range, a la what Miami has done the last couple of years, and maybe get into an 8th seed or a 7th seed. So Health is obviously paramount. Can these guys that they've acquired, Middleton, who they got last year, can they stay healthy? If they can, in the East, I think that they have, a pretty good shot of getting into the playing range, and then maybe sneaking into the playoffs as a lower seed. It didn't strike me as outlandish of a thought to have, but apparently I was receipt hunting. I don't. That's a new term for me. I guess I'm a receipt merchant. I don't know, but I'll let Jarrett speak. I mean, maybe he can sort of back me up or speak a little bit more in depth to sort of what I'm getting at, because I do think that they're young crop. I know I'm expecting them to sort of take that second year leap.
Mhm. So honestly, on the fan base of the Wizards on Twitter/X, it's a good amount of people who think they could sneak into the playoffs as well. So I think the moves that they made of getting CJ and drafting their picks with Trey and getting Cam Whitmore, which a lot of people are excited about, being that he's a DMV guy, born and raised, and he was kind of stuck in Houston, didn't really get a lot of burn, but that he showed out in the time he got. He averaged about over 20 points as a starter in the games that he started. And be honest with you, like Cam Whitmore, I think he can take that step as his team star with if he gets a good amount of minutes. Um, then like you just said, we get another year of Sar and Bub and Keyshawn and Bilal. Bilal comes back healthy. Um, all of them are like plus defenders. They have a lot of size on them. Big wings. It seems like Will Dawkins is just going for a lot of size. So I feel like they could sneak in the playoffs. CJ and Chris Middleton, good vets. Marcus Smart, if they decide to keep Marcus Smart. They still got Kispert there. I'm not sure with all the wings on the roster now, it's going to be a spot for Kispert in the rotation.
There's a lot of
Um,
wings,
yes, a lot of wings. So like,
but he's
I've been hit.
probably their best shooter, though, right?
He is their best shooter, but he
Yeah.
struggled last year a lot. Really like hit or miss, real streaky. I've been hearing rumors that possibly he may get traded. Um, don't know for who, but yeah, I mean, I feel like they could sneak around and make the playoffs if they are able to stay healthy. Their young unit is really good. I actually watched some Trey highlights after he was drafted, and I've seen a lot of things saying that they compared him to either Ray Allen, Allen Houston, which is pretty good company if you can even be like a third of what those guys are. Um, some people compare him to Bradley Beal as well, but they said they feel like he's closer to Ray Allen than Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal had like a kind of a weird comparison to Ray Allen when he first came in, but they said they never really panned out for him. But they said they see Trey Johnson more becoming a Ray Allen. So I feel like I'm excited to actually see him play with this young unit. Um, he's actually really close to Bub as well, so they're really building that chemistry. So yeah, I mean, if they make the playoffs, I'll be super excited. But I still think they're a few years behind before they actually get there because I feel like they still need that one star. I feel like the star is on their roster. I feel like they just need to develop into that star, and then we can really talk about being a playoff team.
I like what y'all doing so far over there in Washington. It's similar to what you would see in baseball in regards to like a farm system. The amount of young players that y'all have, everybody's not going to play, but you're going to have a position where you can put them on a G League team. And then it's the coach's pick. Who's hot hand, who's proving the most, who's showing up every single day, who's staying later. I think they are in a great position and similar to like OKC in regards of you're building up your young players, your young roster. They don't have an SGA as of yet. They might have it on the roster. I agree. I think it's just the aspect of what's key is the development of all of these young players. What do we get from them? But with next year specifically in question, the East, respectfully, you can get into the playoffs with a 41 season.
I mean, Miami made the play-in with 37 wins last year. So,
And
I mean, that
once you
30,
get there,
yeah, the 37 to 41 win range. I mean, you're in competition.
and once you're there, it's the playing is just one game, and you got these young bulls ready to go out there, and they think that it's their time. They can mess around, get an 8th seed, 7th seed, be in the playoffs. Will they make noise in the playoffs? Highly doubt it. But if you could get playoffs as a part of their experience that early, it could have that same effect that we saw with Tatum and Brown. From day one, they ain't missed the playoffs not 1 year. So it could have that same trickle down effect for those young players. On the flip side, we got an older player that announced that this is going to be his last season, more than likely, in Chris Paul. In honor of the point guard, we are going to do an all-time point guards draft. Rush gets the first pick. Jarrett gets the second pick. I will have the last pick. We are going to do 5 rounds. So basically our top 5 point guards of all time. But it's a draft though. So we'll see who's able to get the best 5 point guards drafted. Rush with the number 1 overall pick. Who are you selecting?
How did I get the number 1 pick?
I got the number 1 pick last time. That's why.
Yeah.
Oh, is that why? Okay, I'm flattered.
Smush Parker?
Derek Fisher?
Who leaked my draft board, y'all? I don't know who. We gotta tighten things up around here. I don't know how y'all got a peek at my draft board. Now I gotta recalculate. I went with Magic. Number 1.
I'm gonna go with
Steph Curry. The shooting guard parading as a point guard. Let's see.
So we got Magic and Steph off the board. I'm gonna go with my pick. I'm gonna go with Isaiah Thomas, not Boston. Isaiah Thomas, the Detroit Pistons.
So not Brinks truck. Not Brinks truck. Isaiah Thomas. Okay. Back to me. I'm gonna take Chris Paul.
Solid pick.
I'm gonna take Jason Kidd.
J Kidd. I'm going to go with the big O, Oscar Robinson.
That's gonna be my next one. I know he played both positions. I know he was taller. But would it be fair to consider Pistol Pete a point, or are we looking at him more as a 2 or a combo? Are we doing pure point or what?
I think he was a point.
I think he played both positions. So
he played both. So I'm gonna take Pistol Pete.
Pistol Pete. Jarrett, your third point guard.
Mark Jackson.
Can I take Bubble LeBron? Is that fair?
Bubble, no. Bubble LeBron. Yeah, Jarrett out here cheating, you know.
I'm gonna take
Go ahead and take Walt. Go ahead and take Walt Frazier.
No. I think I'm gonna take the man on my shirt.
Serendipity.
Take AI.
Okay, now we really need to have a conversation though. So because
he played point guard later.
I know he played it, but technically everybody would look at Eric Snow as the point guard, right?
I look at AI as a 2 personally.
I look at AI as a 2. He was undersized, but I feel like he was 2.
You know, it's a toss up. Like the early 60s days, he was a point. Then he moved to shooting guard Eric Snow, and then like later on, he played point. And then up until the end of his career, especially when he hit to Denver. I can take it back and pick someone else. I got someone else in my mind.
No. We're not gonna wild out. It's fantasy. We'll let you have it.
My next pick, I'm gonna keep it old school still. I'm going with the logo, none other, Jerry West.
Jerry West. It's crazy that Jerry West doesn't really get talked about when you talk about like some of the all-time greats. I mean, I know he's a logo. Jerry West.
Nice.
Didn't we talk about bags a couple episodes ago? Jerry West. Jerry West might have had the original bag. No, he didn't have the original bag, but Jerry West was balling. I mean, first guy to win Finals MVP and then to have lost.
The only one.
Yeah, only one. Excuse me. Like, this is crazy to me that this is interesting with the narratives and certain players. That's all. But yeah, that's a great pick. I got to scratch him off my board now because you took him.
How many picks you got left?
Two, right?
2 more rounds.
2 more, right? Steve Nash.
Yeah.
Next.
Your man, John Wall still on the board.
Nah, I'm gonna take Derrick Rose.
Oh, wow. Derrick Rose.
D Rose. All right.
Probably one of the greatest what could have been stories in the league.
We're gonna have an episode.
Can we do breaking news right quick?
Breaking news. What's the breaking news?
Devin Booker has agreed to a 2-year, $145 million maximum contract extension with the Suns through 29-30 season. The highest annual extension salary in NBA history. I was an English major, so I'll lean on one of y'all brothers to do the math on 2 years, $145 million, but I'm assuming it's a lot of money per year.
72.5. Over 2 years.
So it's probably like 70 the first year, and then it'll go up whatever. So I'll probably be making like 75 or whatever the second year. That's
AD Buck. If you end up watching this, let me hold $1.
Just $1. And just one. I don't need a lot. just $1.
And Jokic has not signed his extension, so that bag gonna be different too when Jokic signs. That's gonna.
But which was crazy because it's like he was saying how the Nuggets killed it this offseason. Is he like holding out for a bigger deal or something?
I think so.
Like I didn't read much into it, but like
no, that's all it covered. That's all it covered because he wants to come to LA in 2027.
Play with Luka.
I'm not gonna lie. Well, I'm not gonna lie to you. When people say Lakers fans are toxic, I get it because my first instinct when I read the report was I was like, oh, here it is. This is it. And then I saw that no, he can just get $80 million more by waiting a year. And I was like, oh, okay. That's probably what it is. Yeah, he's gonna retire with Denver. I would be highly shocked if he ever left. But that propaganda wheel, it started to spin and I had to get it under control. I was like, nah, he's not coming.
Pull a Nico and just trade him out of nowhere.
Hey, I think the only time we'll see him leave is if he decides to go full time with his horses. That's the only time.
Yeah, when he walks away. I mean, what else? Truth be told, I mean, what else does he need to accomplish? 3 MVPs, he got 1 title.
Yeah, nothing.
I could see him walking away when he signs his next deal. I don't know how many years it would be, but I could see him. He's already an all-time great. I think I think it's just a matter of where you put him. But I mean, he's already had a Hall of Fame career, and is he even 30 yet? Is he in his 30s? I know he's in his late 20s. Let me ask Google.
My pick for the 4th round before we go to our last set of picks.
Right at 30.
Right at 30. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's great. Great time to be alive for him. I'm going to go old school. Maybe it's because Fell in love with the Celtics City Doc and the knowledge that I got from that. But a name that we also forget in that conversation sometimes because, it was black and white TV and all of the sort. Bob Cousy. Give me Bob Cousy on my list. He was a winner. I want a point guard that's going to lead my team. He was right there with Bill, winning the majority of those championships. So give me Bob Cousy.
I thought we were just going with players that we watched. Well, I mean, we didn't watch Jarrett. Never mind.
Well, you should have known that was out the door when I picked Pistol Pete. I know I got a lot of gray hair, but I ain't that old.
I watched the highlights.
Yeah. NBA TV, Hardwood Classics. I'm going with, for my last and final pick, because we're on the final pick, right? This is 5.
Yes.
Right. Someone who Jarrett threw some unintentional shade at last episode. I'm going with John Stockton.
I keep my comments to
the original short shorts fella. Well, not original, but them joints was hugging. No Diddy. No Diddy, but them joints was hugging. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh, D.
Trying to think who would be my last pick. Oh,
Ramon
Russell
Sessions?
Westbrook. Russell Westbrook. How can we forget about Mr. Triple Double himself? Dang, I feel bad for dropping him so late.
I didn't even say I didn't even say anything, man. I'm just there might be a reason. There might be a reason why. Is all I'm saying. And that's no shade. I'm just saying, like, we all picked like some really great all-time point guards. I don't know. But Russ is he's definitely up there though, for sure.
So I'm gonna have to go. We only went 5 rounds, y'all. So some names are going to be left off. I thought Russ was going to be one of the names left off. There will be some names left off, like Tony Parker, Gary Payton, the John Walls of the world. I'm going to go with, for my last one, I'm going to go with Kyrie Irving.
Wow. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, New Jersey. Homer. Yeah, here's a Homer pick. I get it. I'm not mad at it. I understand.
Hey, listen. I was thinking about picking Marbury at first, being the Homer in me.
I get it.
I was between Kyrie or Rondo. I like that Kyrie has a better ability to go get a bucket. Rondo, not so much. But shout out to you, Rondo, helping the Lakers get that championship. One of the few players to actually win a championship with 2 teams that pretty much hate each other, in the Lakers and the Celtics. Not many have been able to do that. Conversation that I saw on Threads, a couple other places. Season has been done, and now that we can look at the season in its entirety, we can, hindsight is 2020. Who comes to mind for y'all this past season that were some underrated or even underappreciated players that didn't get talked about enough, didn't get enough love from this past season? For me, I'll throw a name out there. He got it a little bit later on, but Zubac to me had an underrated, underappreciated season for what he did with the Clippers. I think he should have he got some votes, but most improved for sure. He played very well. Was a key to how they was winning. Him, Norman Powell, while Harden was doing his thing, and Kawhi was out at the beginning of that year. So Zubac is the name that comes to mind for me. Jarrett, Rush, who comes to mind as some of the underrated, underappreciated players from last season?
For me, I would say Franz Wagner. I think was really underrated. When Paolo was out from those games, he really held it down, kept them in somewhat playoff contention. Um, Felt like he should have been an All-Star before he got hurt as well. Um, one player people didn't talk about because I mean they didn't make the playoffs, but Denny Avia in Portland, and maybe that's the Wizard homer in me as well. But he really made a good improvement last year as well. Really thought he was kind of like the best player on that team last year. Um, and I think one more I want to talk about is Trey Murphy. Even though New Orleans is going through it with injuries and everything, I feel like Trey Murphy made that step into showing that he could be a core guy with that team. And it's probably why they was so willing to let Ingram walk or go trade talks and everything, because they felt like Trey Murphy can probably fit better with their timeline. And also he's a knockdown shooter and he's a decent defender. He has size with him, so I think he averaged about 21 points last year. So I feel like that's like the three players that I feel like was really underrated for me.
In no particular order, the names that really pop the forefront of my mind: Nick Claxton, and not just because he's a potential trade target for Lakers, but I think he was probably one of the lone bright spots, I think, for Brooklyn, in terms of what he was able to do points production wise, and then on the defensive end. I think when you look at where he was at when he first came into the league, and you look at him now, just the way that he's progressed has been pretty tremendous, and he's been rewarded with the contract that he's currently on. But a lot of that sort of gets lost in the fact that Brooklyn was horrible, and is sort of started on the path of a long, which looks to be a long rebuild, especially with what they did the draft. Secondly, I'm gonna say Austin Reeves, mainly because I gotta keep it with the purple and gold. I know he's not an unknown player, but I do think he should have gotten a little bit more consideration for most improved, mainly because he was in between AD missing games and LeBron being what do they call it? Load managed. Austin was consistently, available, and then I moved, but his production actually went up slightly once Luka got traded to the Lakers. So not only are you able to produce and find your spots with, D'Lo sharing ball handling responsibilities with D'Lo, with LeBron and AD on the team. Once AD gets traded and an even more ball dominant player and Luka comes in, you're still able to produce at the level and then increase your production across the board. So his story is fantastic. Undrafted, on the Lakers, and then has gotten better every single year. He's going to be up for a monstrous payday next year. That's something I'm going to be watching as a Lakers fan to see what they do with him, whether they pay him $30 million a year, or if it's lower, or if they trade him before it gets to that point. I don't know, but I think that he has been a pleasant surprise for most Lakers fans, and I think that that's sort of evident by how much he's loved by Lakers Nation. But I think he had a really strong year, and though he didn't play that well in the playoffs, because I know he was battling a toe injury, I think his regular season was pretty spectacular considering all aspects.
So it's a lot of Griffin Proc love going on. He suggested a topic regarding the W, buy or sell on some teams as contenders.
Yeah,
Obviously,
I want to skip this. Oh, I'm kidding. I'll love the Griff.
Obviously, we look at teams like Minnesota, who's the top 17-3, the Phoenix Mercury at 14-6, and the New York Liberty at 13-6 are actual contenders. Looking at some of the other teams, Atlanta Dream, buy or sell as contenders to win it all.
To win it all.
It's a tough question.
Yeah. It's just still early. I mean, I know we're kind of like a little less than halfway through the season. I know they're sitting in that 2 slot.
I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say so. Yeah, so.
Yeah, and it's hard for me to say that because Alicia Gray be balling, yo.
Yeah, she's
Like,
balling.
like she be hooping. And now she's not the only one on that team that's been well. Yeah, but I don't something about I can't trust them as a contender just yet.
I think
Seattle
Ryan Howard's
Storm.
just too. I think Ryan Howard's just too inconsistent.
Yeah,
He's shooting 34% from the field and 29 from three. Like I just think your second best player you should be shooting those percentages if you really want to win.
yeah, gotta be better.
That's a huge. She has the skill and the talent to probably lead the league in scoring. It's just the efficiency and how she get into it. So if she figures it out, you might see a deep playoff run for them because she really could at any point go drop 30. It's scary and it's great watching Ryan Howard when she gets going. It's a beautiful game to watch. That
Shout out to
next
Hina
team,
Papa.
You just gotta put Caitlin Clark in front of her and she'll go off.
those Seattle Storm, the Skylar Diggins, Agumake, are they buy or sell? Are they contenders to
I'm
win it all?
I'm buying because Skylar. I'm buying Skylar Diggins as a basketball player. Let me be clear. But I'm a huge fan of Skylar Diggins, a basketball player, and that team. They've been a pleasant. To me, they've been a pleasant surprise this season, and I think they've got the toughness and the moxie you kind of need to win a tough series. You need a little bit of grit and grind in you, as well as just overall talent. But I think that they have the right balance of both. And I think Skylar's the kind of player that can will her team and obviously perform, but also will her team to wins in the postseason.
Hey, Jared, let me ask you this: do you think that they should be giving some more playing time to their first round pick and Dominique Malanga, or is it just this is a veteran team? She's gonna have to wait her turn.
Nah, I think they should definitely give her more time. She was what, the second pick. Definitely think she should be getting more burn. Ezzy is not really having a great year. I mean, she's averaging 7 points on just no under 30 minutes, 26.7 minutes per game. Um, I don't know. I think they should be giving her more minutes, but I'm all in on Gabby Williams as a basketball player after that performance she put on for France. And yeah, she's a defensive monster. She can score the ball, so I wouldn't be surprised if they end up making a deep run and winning the championship. So I'm buying.
Buy or sell on the new and up and coming team. They are 6-4 in their last 10. The Golden State Valkyries.
So I might see that say that fast. I'm just not. I just don't trust expansion teams.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's perfectly reasonable. I'm a sell. So I was about to be difficult just for the sake of it, but no, I'm good. So
Last team to throw out
But
there.
I like Taylor Thornton though. She's balling right now.
Last team to throw out there. The Indiana Fever. Caitlin Clark hasn't been healthy this year. With her being healthy, possibly on the back end after All-Star break and a couple of games before All-Star, they were up there, courting to Vegas as one of the favorites to win it all this year. Are you buying or selling stock in the Indiana Fever winning it this year?
Now, if DeWanna Bonner was still there, I would buy. But on top of that, it's hard because Caitlin's really struggling this year, even when she is on the court. See, she's averaging close to 6 turnovers, so it's really hard for me
That's
to
because that's
buy.
because that's because her teammates aren't ready for the types of
Are
passes
bubbling the ball.
yeah, they're not ready to catch the types of passes that Caitlin can throw because nobody's ever seen those types of passes before. So that's why the turnovers are high. That's
Professional women who don't know how to catch passes.
yeah,
Okay.
professional women. They never caught a full court bounce pass before Caitlin Clark got drafted to the league. So that's why she's averaging 6. That's why she's averaging. That's some of the but that's like a consistent thing that I've seen online. People making excuses for a turnover. It's like, oh no, they're just not ready for the types of passes. Like, yo, these are professional athletes, like the top 2% of athletes in the world. Like
They've been
Caitlin
changing
is
since
great.
college for her. That's the
Caitlin is
crazy part.
Caitlin is great. Like, take nothing away from her, but she can own she can own these turnovers too, right? Like, you ain't got to put everything on her team. I'm sorry, I interrupted, but I just it's the cognac speaking. My bad. I'm going mute.
No, for me, I said this on Threads. I do still feel like that they should start Ari McDonald as the point guard. But she's the one to run the show. She's pushing pace. She plays tough defense. She can score. And so I feel like if, Stephanie White can find a way to get Caitlin off the ball and can actually, have her come off the screens, which I said last year that maybe they should play Caitlin off the ball no more and not have the ball so much. Turnovers would be down. Her shot selection would be better and I feel like that will open up a new dimension for the offense. But I'm not the coach. I'm I'm not these delusional Caden Clark fans that think that these professional women don't know how to catch bounce passes. So it's not my problem.
Hey, I'll say this, and we'll pick our winners based off of the teams for the All Star rosters. There's somebody over in Dallas that I'd buy $1 billion of her stock before I go with Caitlin Clark, named Paige Beckers. Give me Paige 7 days out of the week over
365.
Caitlin, even just on the teammate aspect. All that, nah, bruh. I'm good off of that. Give me Paige. I want Paige to be a little bit more aggressive over there in Dallas because she's her. And honestly, quiet as kept, she's better than Enrique. I just hope she realizes that sooner than later. She's better than Enrique right now.
Wow.
Just throwing that out there. Again, to what Jarrett mentioned, Ryan Howard could drop 30 any point. Enrique can go drop 45 any point. But that efficiency, she gonna get you 25, but it might be on 28 shots.
Yeah.
Paige will go get you 28 on 12 shots. 28 on 12 shots. Get to the free throw line in like one turnover. Paige every single day of the week. The All-Star rosters have been set. Y'all let me know which team you think wins, Team Collier or Team Clark. I'll read out the rosters. Team Collier, that's Nafisha, Brianna Stewart, Alicia Gray, Nneka Gumake, Paige, Courtney Williams, Skylar Diggins, Angel Reese, Alyssa Thomas, Kelsey Plum, Ryan Howard. Team Clark is Caitlin, Aaliyah, Sabrina, Asia, Satu, Kelsey, Gabby, Sonia Citron, Kiki Area Finn, Jackie Young, and Kayla Thornton. Which of those teams you think wins that All-Star game?
I feel like the Feast team got some size on them. I feel like I'm gonna go with them.
I agree. I'm gonna go with size. Feast team looks, I think, to have the advantage when it comes to that. And I think they might just be better. Just overall. So yeah.
It's a player on there that's really been balling in her last 5 games, 6, 7 games. Either y'all want to take the floor and show some love, give some flowers to Angel Reese, who had a kind of a slow start, and we had everybody from, it was a group of dudes that was making bets and making money off of her missing her first shot. There was people talking about, yeah.
Wait, stop out. Wait, what?
Oh, you ain't see those videos? Oh yeah,
No.
they got a cease and desist, and it had to be taken down. But they legit did 6 straight games where they recorded themselves. It's like, all right, we got 250 on Angel Reese missing her first shot. The payout is like 100,000. Angel Reese missed the first shot. The whole room go crazy. Ah, yeah. Next game, same bet for her to miss her first shot. They took it down, I think, as an actual prop bet anyway now, but they made bank off of that and was recording it and aggregated everywhere. Twitter, thread, it was aggregated everywhere. But she seems way more fluid, been balling. Give the floor. Anybody want to share some flowers and some love for Angel Reese most recent play?
I mean, I think if you look at what she's done, I mean, she's always been a tremendous rebounder, and I know a lot of the propaganda that was out there was like, oh, she gets a lot of rebounds because she misses. But I think there's enough people out there with enough knowledge now to look at even last year's stats that even if you took out all the offensive rebounds, she still would have led the league in rebounding. So the rebounding, while impressive, isn't what's been most impressive to me. It's been on the offensive end and how she sort of started. You can sort of see her starting to generate a little bit more offense in a variety of ways, which I think is, which is good for her. Good for anybody. I mean, you don't want to be one dimensional as a basketball player. The more dimensions you have to your game, the more impact you have. So, I'm not a huge efficiency freak. Like I don't look at a player's shooting percentages and think, if it's below a certain number, then that, it was negative. I think, there's a lot more nuance to the game, but it is encouraging to see within these last 5 games, her efficiency be a lot higher than what we've seen traditionally. But, you see her handling the ball a little bit in some ISO situations and her, making some moves on the post and, making herself available, cutting to the basket when her teammates have the ball. So I think she's just sort of coming into her own. And I put a thread out. I said, she's arrived, and I think she has, and she's only going to continue to get better. And I just want to state that she doesn't have to average 30 and 20 to be a great player. Like there are literally like archetypes of players, and people think that she has to drop 30 points a game in order to be a great player or a dominant player, and that's just not the case. And I think that she's every bit deserving of all the praise that she's been given and getting. She's deserving of the cover art for NBA 2K26. She's got her own shoe sneaker coming out. So yeah, it's just she's been balling. I think you got to give all the credit in the world to her.
Ending off the show, we like to end off with some trivia. It'll be 5 questions. Each question is worth 4 points. Let's see who actually gets the most points. Which NBA player has the most MVP awards?
Player has the most MVP awards.
Most MVP awards, regular season.
Kareem.
I hate trivia. The most MVPs. Bill Russell.
Jarrett is off to 1 with 4 points. It was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar with 6.
How many does Bill have?
I don't know. So.
Oh, man. Damn. So did
I
you even
think he got like.
do you even know that Jarrett got it right, or did
I think he
you
got
just
like 3.
turn Chat GPT off, man?
We going to check
We
right.
go to NBA.com.
I don't know if he got as many because of that same time. Wasn't it? What's his name? Will got most of those. 5-time MVP. 5 times.
Oh, so he's up by 1. So I got the second. Got the second most.
So he got him and Mike.
Yeah, I got tied. Okay, I can live with that.
The first high school player to be drafted in NBA history.
It's Moses, right?
I'll let Jarrett answer.
It's not Moses, but I don't know who it is. But let me think. Let me think on it. Ooh. Yikes. Is it damn. It's not Garnett, is it? I'm gonna go with Garnett. I know I'm wrong, but I'm gonna go with Garnett.
Rush is on the board. Moses
Okay.
Malone.
That one I know. That one I know. Even though I said
I thought,
isn't.
I thought it was because does it count that he's in the ABA first?
1974 ABA.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey man, don't be trying to take my 4 points away.
My fault.
Hey, you. I think you swept me last one, so let me get this one.
The first non-American to be named NBA MVP.
Shit. Non-American.
Give a hint, it's in the 90s.
Elijah won.
Oh. Yeah. Watch one.
Yeah, both get that one right. It was Hakeem Olajuwon, 1994. Most points scored in a single playoff game, 63, was by who?
Bruh. Come on now. Oh man. But I know this one's Bob, so I'm gonna let Jarrett because he looks like he's having a hard time. So I'm gonna let him struggle through it before I get my answer. It's a strategy.
Nah,
I'm just trying to win.
I think Mike.
Yeah, it's Jordan.
Yeah, Jordan.
It was Mike. I want to be like Mike.
God disguised as Michael Jordan.
Last one. Y'all currently are tied right now. First player to win an NBA championship with 3 different teams. If nobody gets this, I have a tiebreaker as a follow-up question.
With 3 different teams.
3 different teams.
Robert Horry.
Yeah, I was gonna say Robert Horry too.
The first ever to do it was John Sally. Lakers.
Another Laker. God, I know I should have known that. Oh.
Lakers, Pistons, and who else?
Bulls.
The guy who was on the Bulls.
God almighty.
And now is a advocate and a face for veganism, John Sally. No longer a fan of eating any type of meat.
Oh.
What for the bonus question? Who? Oh no, that's too easy. That one's too easy. We ain't gonna do that one. All right. So for the bonus question, who was the first player to win the NBA Finals MVP award? Jarrett, your face.
I'm thinking like, huh?
Is it Bill Russell? Because they named the award after him, right? Isn't the Finals award named after Bill Russell? Finals MVP?
Yeah, I believe so.
I'm not gonna Google search because somebody gave me the answer. So I'm just gonna. I've gone with the Celtic twice tonight, so I need one of these to pay off. It's hard enough for me to say Bill Russell.
You want me to answer too, or
The answer is the logo. Jerry West was the first.
so when he won Finals MVP and he lost, that was the first Finals MVP.
1969.
Wow.
69. I thought Jerry West, but for some reason I feel like I got to see the Bill Russell Award.
Maybe that's one of the Eastern or Western Conference ones. Or
It might be. That might be. What
No,
NBA award?
it's
No,
Larry Bird and Magic Johnson.
The NBA Finals MVP is named after Bill Russell, but he must have just won it.
I guess when you look at Jerry West, the amount of times he lost, they probably said, "Nah, we can't name this after you."
We gotta give yeah.
Unfortunately. All right, so y'all have an option. Y'all can end the show as y'all both tied, or try to break the tiebreaker.
We can go one more.
One more.
All right, one more. Okay, let this be a good one. We will go with. All right. George Gervin. Most points scored in a quarter record was broken in 2015 by this player.
Carmelo Anthony.
What's the record?
Most points scored in a quarter.
Oh, but how many?
30.
How many points?
But the record is 37. 37 and a quarter.
Jarrett answered that kind of quick, like he knew the answer.
I remember when he broke it.
All right, I'm gonna go with Carmelo. I'm gonna go with Carmelo.
Carmelo Anthony. With Melo. It was Clay. Clay had the 37 and a quarter.
You said 20. Wait, I thought Melo broke it. Oh,
I was gonna, and what's crazy is I was gonna say Clay, but Jarrett was so confident. I was like, I'm obviously not good at trivia.
Clay still holds the record for most points in a quarter, 37.
With probably like 5 dribbles.
Yeah. Something crazy.
Oh man. Right, well, at least I didn't lose.
We ended off at a tie for that round of trivia. Again, we appreciate every single person that rocks with the Corner 3 podcast. And just to make sure, if you watch this far, definitely hit that subscribe button and make sure that you subscribe to the Basketball Intelligence newsletter. Shout out to Evan. Shout out to Aaron. The Corner 3, we are out. Peace.